Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am playing with a lovely fall kit from Not Too Shabby. Now I'm going to make 5 cards with you, but first we're going to play an experiment. So right now I'm using the stencil that came in the kit, and I'm using a glue stick and my finger tool. And I'm putting glue in between the spaces of the stencil. I'm definitely like just kind of sparsely doing this, and then I'm going to run that through my die cut machine to emboss the paper. And it didn't emboss the paper too much, but it did help fix that foil in there. And then I did use the stencil as an embossing folder as well. I kind of forgot to use that paper on my cards today, but I will definitely be using it. Now I am also put some glue stick just on plain paper. I'm going to leave it there for a minute, let it kind of dry and stick, and then I will pull that off. Now with the residual, which there is residual foil on this sheet, I am going to use it to kind of kick up the ephemera, if you will. I'm going to be just adding foil accents to different pieces of the ephemera. So like for the sunflower, I'm adding it here. Now I thought the silver went really nice with this muted color palette, but I also brought in gold too. Now that sheet that I just showed you is when I laid this down on it with a glue stick. Here I have some white gesso, and I'm going to just kind of swatch the gesso. Is that what you would call it? Swatch? I don't know. I'm going to spread the gesso across a few pieces of patterned paper. I just kind of wanted to give it a rustic feel, and so I felt like adding this helped with that. You can let me know if you agree or not. And so I'm just randomly putting some on with my palette knife all around. And while I'm doing this, up in that left corner, you see some labels that look like they have photo corners. Those are not a part of this kit. I just had them on my desk and brought them in for 1 card. But everything else that I'm using, besides the mediums, is from the kit. So all the paper, the stencils, the ephemera, all the goodies. All right, so this is nice and opaque, so it even covers up that black buffalo check. Now I'm using my stencil again with the gesso, and again randomly putting the gesso through the stencil here. Gesso is nice because you can build it up, so this is very dimensional. You can make it as dimensional as the stencil is, basically. And now I brought in my foil, but I brought it in too soon. So don't do this unless it's dry. Okay, so the best thing to do is dry your gesso just a little bit and then put your foil on it. Now here I'm using a shipping label. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that is sticky, and it's made for printing shipping labels, which I do for my Etsy shop. And I decided I would try to clean off this foil sheet, getting all of this off onto this sticky paper. And what's cool is the other side is just like copy weight paper, so it's great for gluing onto your projects. So I was able to clean off this whole sheet here, and now you can see it's still very sticky. So I did bring in my embossing tool, this powder, to take the stick out, and then now it's just like a metallic sheet of paper, and I love how imperfect it is. I have a stack of cardboard that I keep on the side of my desk, and I reached for this piece because I knew it had like this ribbed texture on the inside, and I really wanted to add that for texture and dimension to these cards. Um, I was thinking of using my gesso on it as well, which is a really cool effect that you can do, but I kept it simple. So I cut this to like 3 inches by 2 inches, 3 inches by 1, and 3 by 1.5. Okay, so there's all my fun paper that I made to go along with this kit. I'm going to show you one more idea. Now, I didn't use these images today, but I'll use them in the future. So this is the sheet of paper that I took a glue stick and covered it in glue stick and then put my foil down and then let it dry. And now I'm stamping on top of it. Probably the best ink to use would be a StazOn, but I chose my Versamark. It just takes forever to dry, especially because it's on a glued surface, like dried glue stick. So, it doesn't watercolor perfectly, but I really liked it. And what I especially liked about it was the fact that the foil all still shows through your watercoloring, and it's really neat. And for those images, it makes them look really rustic. Okay, so for this first card, I am using some Trinity Stamps dies that I got from the Not Too Shabby shop. This is one of Trinity's, I think it was the release before this last one that they did. And I just really liked the slimline die. And then these are mini slimlines that are stitched. I picked those up because I thought they would be great for, obviously, slimline cards, mini slimlines, and then also for sentiments. So now I'm just building up my focal point here. Um, Lots of tape and glue to make sure it adheres to this cardboard. And that lantern even has like some gold fleck on it. Now I am doubling up some foam tape here to stick behind the lantern so that everything's nice and flush since it hangs off that cardboard. And the cardboard is really dimensional. Those two white blocks at the ends were really bugging me, so I trimmed down a piece of paper for each side. And we have our first card done. Love it. Now I'll start on the second one. This one is really pretty simple. This just has that kind of distressed paper. I'm bringing in the scraps from when I had trimmed off the paper for the previous card. Use it all, right? I find especially when I like make my own mixed media stuff, I'm a lot less or I'm a lot more hesitant to just throw pieces out. I usually try to find a way to incorporate them and use them in my design. So I'm bringing in a couple of pieces of ephemera, and I really, really like the way that card turned out. So card number 3, this page turned out super cool. So this was that gesso page where I gessoed on the brown plain paper and then added the gold. And now, again, just using up scraps. Anything I had on my desk was obviously an option. And layers, layers, layers. So you guys, we had a surprise visit from my brother and sister-in-law this weekend. And I made her an album and gave her some cards. And then she said, "Oh, yeah, we watch your videos." I was flabbergasted. I was like, "What? You do?" She's like, "Yeah, I think I want to try card making." Oh my goodness. It delighted me so much. I was like, "Do not leave town before I get to give you a box." So I gave her a couple of boxes of supplies to get her going. She inherited my Misty, a 12 by 12 cutter, and all kinds of things to get her going on her journey. I hope she enjoys it. And, I just talked to her about there's all different kinds of card making. Like there's card making like this, where you're playing with a lot of paper and ephemera and layering. And then there's card making where you're starting something from scratch and doing mixed media or watercoloring, alcohol markers. Like it's just so vast. And I just encouraged her, explore it all to figure out what it is that you like. And maybe you'll like it all. That's kind of how I am. I kind of like everything. And it's just whatever strikes me in the moment. Right now, I'm loving foil accents, as you can tell. So this is card number 4, and I wanted some tone on tone using this leaf stamp from the stamp set. So this kit came with 2 really awesome stamp sets. One is like a scene that's already made for you, and then this the other stamp set has like a lot of fall icons in it, so it's really neat. All right, this is tea dye Distress Oxide ink, and I just blended the edges. And now I'm kind of making like a table setting, if you will, was the idea on this. So I decided I also wanted a banner to go in the top left corner of the card. Now I used the most crooked piece of paper and I kind of got crooked results because of it, but I'm not going to stress about it. It's all good. Um, I do distress the edges of this, and then I put it on my card crooked because in doing that, if I trim off the top, it kind of straightens it all out. Enough for me. And now I'm laying down that scrap and building up this scene. I had so much fun putting these together, and I'm going to tell you guys that I actually already have 2 more videos of one cool project I made with this kit that's going to come out later this month. So I've already had 2 sessions with this kit, and now I'm already, after right now sitting here with you guys editing this video, going, I want to go play with it again. So definitely go over to the Not Too Shabby shop. Check out this kit. I don't feel like I mention it often enough, but some of the perks of shopping at Not Too Shabby are really significant. Customer service is amazing. Um, Now, not on the kits, but on most other all purchases, you can get 10% off your order. So you could order the brand new Lawn Fawn, the brand new Honeybee, the brand new um, Trinity stamps and get 10% off your order. If you spend $60, you get free shipping typically. And then you earn points for rewards where you can get free product. And so I just think it's a really great place to shop. Jamie has a lot of incentives for her customers. And I just don't feel like I mention that often enough. So I wanted to mention it because I've been shopping with Jamie since the beginning of my card making journey. All right, fall bucket list. So that's what I wanted this card to say. And I didn't feel like dealing with any like alpha stamps or dies. So I just wrote on my card. I kind of just had a vision for this card. Actually, when I first saw this kit, this card kind of popped in my mind, and I decided I can draw on my card and just sketch and play and have fun. So that's what this last card's all about. It's really different from everything else we've made here today, but that just kind of sums up who I am. I just do what makes me happy, and it's always a little different, even in the same card making session. So I matted that up a couple of times with some of the patterned paper. Can y'all hear that thunder? Oh, so nice. And here are my cards. I really love this one. Now I'm going to be trying to show y'all the dimension and the shine from that metallic. It's just amazing. And the second one, everything is better with coffee. Love that. This one is so fun with all those paper layers. So you guys, I'm definitely going to be like making cards geared for Lily. She has a box of supplies now and I want to show her how to use them. So there's going to be a lot of beginner videos coming up. If that is your level, if that's where you're at, stick around, subscribe, hit the bell because you'll want to see what I'm up to. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.